Hey guys, how's it going? Just thought I'd do a quick run through on a status effect build that can be used in legendary and heroic runs. Um, just some ideas. The way I think it should be run is can always be modified by you to fit your own playstyle. But yeah, let's get into the build. So first thing we start off with, I'm using an Urban MDR with perpetuation on it. Now you can, in place of this gun, run the Everlasting Gaze. It comes with perfect perpetuation. The difference between the two is just the cooldown on that, 20 seconds versus 16. Um, I like the MDR better, so that's why I'm running it as my primary. Secondary is a Sweet Dreams. If you can also run the Lullaby in this place too if you happen to have it, not the Sweet Dreams. But mainly I'm using it for this melee attack, insta kills, non-elite enemies, cooldown 15 seconds. It's great to help out your team as you're running through some of the harder content. You can help clear some of the lower end NPCs out. Sidearm, I have a backup boomstick on, and really this could probably, be whatever you want to use here. Maybe any of these spec weapons would be fine. The D50, Perfect Sadist. We're not actually applying a bleed a status effect to anybody, so I don't know that Perfect Sadist is worth it, but stick something in that slot. You may or may not end up using it. So the whole build then is set up 2-piece Wyvern, 1 Hannah U, Golem Gear, Acosta's bag, and the holster. I'll get into the breakdown here of why. The first piece we'll look at is this Wyvern mask. Now, since the build is centered around status effects, that's why I ran 2-piece Wyvern. I'm not as worried about the skill damage off of this from the brand set, but it does help out. You can the jammer does do some damage to NPCs, so we've got that there. This rolled skill tier, put the best status effect roll I had on it. Skill haste came in slot, and I put a skill haste mod on. The Acosta Go bag, really good backpack. Mainly for the talent, throwing a grenade. Grants 1 skill tier for 15 seconds. Overcharge if already at skill tier 6. That'll make your skills absolutely insane if you hit overcharge. Skill haste mod there. Possibly the most terrible skill haste mod, but you can find better. So Hannah U, 1 piece for the 10% skill haste. I love these gloves. They've got skill haste rolled on, god roll status effects, plus a skill tier. Second piece of Wyvern is the knee pads here. This will give us our 10% status effects from the gear set, the brand set. I rolled status effects on it, came god roll skill haste, 1 skill tier. If you have not seen or heard of this so far, the improvised holster I've been running, I really like this holster, mainly because it gives you a mod slot. Even though you don't have a brand set bonus, you get that extra mod slot. So I rolled status effects on this. It came with skill haste and a skill tier, plus I have a skill haste mod. If you haven't seen this before, didn't know it existed, if you go into your crafting bench down in the holsters, there is an improvised holster right there. You can just craft away until you get what you're looking for. Might take a few rolls, but you'll end up getting what you need. And the last gear set piece that we're looking at here is Golem Gear. Golem Gear comes with status effects on it for the brand set. And in an ideal world, Golem Gear always rolls a core attribute that's blue. So in an ideal world, I would be able to find this chest piece that came with status effects and skill haste already on it, and I could roll a skill tier over into that armor slot, but not terrible. Have a little more beefiness to you. Mad Bomber as the talent, grenade radius increased by 50%. they kill an enemy, they're refunded. They can be cooked by holding the fire button. You also gain 15% bonus armor while aiming your grenade. Because of the Acosta Go bag, you're going to be using your grenades quite a bit, so this becomes really effective. Great talent in slot. Now I paired that up with the Survivalist specialization. If we take a quick look at the Survivalist tree, there's a few reasons. First off, you get an incendiary grenade. It applies burn to targets within the radius. Using Mad Bomber, your radius is going to be much larger, so that's a status effect in itself. Increased protection from elites, always great in the harder content. Armor kits repair over 5 seconds, but they also apply to group members within 20 meters, and 20 meters is a huge radius, so you can constantly kind of be helping buff your teammates for survivability. Down here in the bottom then, group members get a 10% bonus damage to targets with status effects. You're going to be buffing your teammates again for the DPS. While in cover, you gain 10% skill haste. You'll be in cover quite a bit, largely because it is, harder content. Just a lot of good stuff that comes out of this set here. So definitely a must run, the Survivalist spec. Finally, we get into the actual skills themselves. Start out here. Jammer Pulse, I've got the EMP effect duration is 13.3, cooldown 13.6. When I hit skill tier 6 right now with this build, before using my skill, that duration is going to be longer than my cooldown, so that means I can constantly be spamming drones and mini tanks and all of that to keep them suppressed for my team. The real crux of this build then comes in here with the blinder fly. So right now, blind duration 22.1 seconds, cooldown 21.4. Once I proc the Acosta Go bag, I'll hit skill tier 6 with that, which adds an additional target. It'll fly faster and it lasts longer too. So once again, there's no reason that you can't have everyone in the room blind at all times, so that your DPS on your team can really just go to town and take people down. Max targets are 9. That would go up to 10 if I hit skill tier 6. So not too bad. Pretty simple and straightforward. There are areas where instead of this blinder fly, you could use the Demolisher. Max targets of 9, goes out, damages and destroys enemy weak points, skill proxies, and environmental explosives. So if you got a lot of grenadiers, things like that flopping around out there, you could easily keep them, take the damage output that they potentially have away from them using this. So yeah, just a quick run through on the build. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.